What's happening?
Mm.
Tanya knew what she was doing. She tried to put those big titties in everybody's face all the time. She tries to do it all the time.
Oh,
Whatever. Whatever.
listen, I'm a
The itty
middle-aged
bitty titty
woman.
committee has something to offer too.
I am a middle-aged woman, and I'm just trying to put it out there, just in case somebody wants to holler. Anyway,
A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on.
All right, Lord.
24 hours is a lot of stuff.
The past 24 hours have had the internets up in an uproar, y'all.
Wow, what's going on? What's happening?
Yo, listen, Kevin Samuels.
For those who don't know who Kevin Samuels is, he had like one YouTube million subscribers talking about men, well, talking about women and lifestyle and dating. And he was known for, well, he was very straightforward and very harsh with his critiques, I would say.
That's being polite.
There's some truth in it, though. He did have some truth in it, whether how it came out, being pedantic and a fucking kind of asshole-ish about it. But he did tell some truth sometimes.
Okay, name a truth.
Put you on a spot. I watched some of the videos with some of the women, and he's like, so she's like, I want a man who makes six figures, who doesn't have any kids, and this, that, and the other, and I want all this stuff. Good looking, tall, and she was had 3 kids and was never married and not in shape. And he was like, well, why do you think you could get that man that you covet? And she's like, well, I think I deserve that. So he basically would say to her, not looking like that, because they would go for more high quality, not high quality, but women who had more things going for them, to be a wife to a high valued man. That's what he would call them. A high,
yeah,
like
he
what
was
make,
very
what
much
would
on
make
the
a
high
woman,
valued man.
Yeah, high valued man. What does a woman have to have in order to get a high valued man?
Okay, I'm gonna stop right now because I've heard this term for the longest time with him and on the interwebs. What the fuck is a high valued man or an educated valued women?
Educated.
I don't understand that.
An educated, good looking, making over 6 figures, making over 6 figures, educated, and has a good job, and
which is true. But the thing is, and this is why I dislike him so much, is the same could be had of a Black woman, but in his eyes, she still has no value. Her high value will never ever match what his high value for a man is.
Well, the reason why he says
misogynist, huh?
The reason why he said that is because women, if they're worked on their career for a certain amount of time, by the time that they're 35, one of those high value men could get someone who's 28 in their 20s that could have kids earlier, as opposed to a woman who is at 35, which is on the further end of the spectrum of.
So a Black woman at this point, from what he's saying, is really of no value in her 20s or her 30s, because if she's working to get to these things, she's not there yet. But then as she's working to get there, and then she gets there and she might be 30 and she has like a set career. No, she's past her prime as far as he's saying.
Well, in terms of I love the Jesus look on your face. Like, go ahead, say something. Say something. He's saying that Black men have more choices.
But, and that's the point, Black men, right? He puts them up on this high pedestal.
High value Black men, yes, because there's less of them. That's why. Because there's less of them.
No. Well, you know what? My thing is too. If a Kevin Samuel says to me that, you know what, I'm not in that high value number, that, you know, a black man is not going to want me because, you know, I'm over 50 at this point. Well, he's not even talking about 50-year-olds. As far as he's concerned, if you're 50 and you ain't married or in a relationship,
we're dead.
And you might as well just go get you some cats. That's what he's basically saying.
Hey, easy on the cat thing.
Sorry, I had a few cats too, but that's basically what he's saying. My thing is, yeah, there might be some inkling of truth about, you know, getting yourself together but he moves the bar for black women every single time, and there is a way that I feel like
time he has a set type of thing that it's set. It's not like moving it like, well, now this is better and this is worse. He's like, no, if you are single, he's saying if you want a high value black man, you have to be single, ready to be a wife, under 30, no kids, and educated, and should have a good job. Those are the requirements he was saying that would get what a high valued man. And it's not what he's saying, what a high value man would be attracted to be with him. Not saying that they're not worthy, but he's saying that that's what the high value man is looking for in a woman. And a lot of the women that came on the thing on it, I watched a couple of them, came on there, had 3 kids, didn't really have a job, was living at their mom's house, and they expected to say, oh, and didn't have wasn't educated, but had a job, 3 kids, 1 by one, 2 by another, and she was.
That was the majority of the women on his show, because I've seen a lot of women who are just the opposite. I definitely have seen them. I definitely have seen those.
Those are the only ones I really saw that
those are the entertaining ones.
Well, I mean, that's the only one. So if he was, I didn't watch enough maybe to make I told you how much I saw. Mm-hmm. The 4, I subscribed to him, so I saw maybe 5 of them. Oh, and all of them I was like, he's harsh, but she's like, well, I deserve this is what I deserve. He's like, well, why do you deserve that? He would break them down like this, like, well, why do you think you deserve that? And she's like, well, because, you know, I can lose some weight if I want to. And he's like,
I remember, sir, certain
like,
ones
honey,
like that.
You know, you need to be ready. You know, you have your weight loss on. He's saying what a high value man would be attracted to, and you didn't fit the criteria of what a high value man would be attracted to.
Right, but then there's also the woman that would come on there and she'd have all those things and no children, but she was a little bigger. You know, she wasn't as thick, you know, stick thin or anything like that. And just on that one thing is. No man's gonna want you. So again, when I say there's nothing a black woman can do in his eyes, from what I could see, that would make her just as valuable as the high valued man. No matter what, he's always torn them down.
There's more high valued women than there are high valued men.
But you wouldn't know that listening to him.
Yeah, but what he's saying is the different. He's not saying that a high value woman would be an educated, has a career, has money, this, that, and the other. But a high valued man does not necessarily have to be good looking or in shape or all that kind of stuff. But a high value woman considered would have to have that, because there's less high value black men so they can be more choosy. They can be more choosy having a black, you know.
Because here's where I done let y'all speak, but here's what I'm going at. Like, this whole high value thing definition has got me all confused. But either way, I am a middle-aged woman who is educated, who has a great career, who makes good money, who lives independently,
and he would disqualify you because you can't have kids.
And maybe I'm not fat, but I'm, I could stand to lose like maybe 5 or 10 pounds.
He would ask you how much you weigh. And he's definitely, that's what I'm saying. So you have these criterias, but then as soon as you say, oh, I weigh 146, that's too much. That's too much.
Well, then
he would disqualify you because you're not of baby making age. He would say,
exactly,
because a high value man who's looking to get married. That's the whole thing was that.
Yeah, but as a man
that wants to get married wants someone who's 35 and younger so they can have kids.
Yeah, but the men of my age, if I'm looking for if I'm not. But if I was looking for a mate, I'd be looking for someone in my age group. And I'd be thinking that if I'm ready to date again and I'm looking for someone in my age group, they're either going to be like me with no kids and there's no possibility of having kids, or older. Like I'm not gonna fuck with a dude that's in his mid to late 50s trying to look at me and say, oh, you're not good enough, as I'm bringing everything to the goddamn table. Wait, let me finish. As I'm bringing everything to the goddamn table, and then you're going to look at me and say,
there's enough women
have no kids?
Who are 35 years old who have the same things, who have a career, who have money, who don't have kids, that are 35 and younger. That's what he would say about that.
Yeah, and my response to him would be, the 35 and younger bitches would be like, oh, I got my shit together and I'm making my money.
Right.
But I'm doing me. That's my shit. And
they were looking for a high valued man though. Because there's so
again, this whole high value thing's got me all fucked up.
Yeah, there's so few. There's much more high considered. If you look at the criteria of what a high valued person is, there's many more high value, especially in Atlanta. Atlanta's like 30-1 in terms of college educated, career minded women, as opposed to the men. It's like
too.
12. But that's my point. You can have 10 great, fantastic women, but the one man can choose the one that he likes the most, even if they're all high valued or considered. But if someone's 40, he can say, no, there's a 35-year-old that's the same amount, but she doesn't have this. Or there's a 28-year-old who's in good shape, but she doesn't have this and the other, or she has a kid. He can disqualify those.
But I can respect that. I have no problem with you being able to pick and choose. Yes. And because I'm picking and choosing too. And if I decide that, okay, I'm not being picked, then I might look at another pool.
Yeah,
I might jump into another pool. And that's what Black women need to think about as well. My point with him is that there has never been a respectful, that I have seen, a respectful conversation with women. And
no, you're right. He doesn't be respectful, because that's why we're talking about him. This is the whole reason.
We're talking about him because he's dead.
Oh, we're talking about him
because that's the only reason we're talking about him.
Some of these other relationship gurus that are nice and or this and the other, we wouldn't know who Brandon Coleman is or what this and the other, but we know him because he's so polarizing and he played into that. And these women also played into that too.
True.
So that's the entertainment factor of the whole thing. And he made his money doing that kind of stuff. If he wasn't, yes, I admit, I was like, ooh, I would cringe all the time. Some of the things he would say, biting, disrespectful. Yes,
nasty.
There was a point I thought it was scripted. When I first saw him,
I thought it was
like, I remember when I first saw the videos when he first came out, I was dying because I thought it was scripted, and I was sharing it. I was texting everybody that I knew. I was putting it on Twitter. I'm like, I even reached out to him on Instagram and was like,
I saw that.
I need you on our podcast because I thought this was a shtick for him. Then as time went on, I was like, okay, I kept seeing, I didn't subscribe to his YouTube channel, but I kept seeing other people putting their videos on, and I'm like, wow, this dude is fucking vulgar. But again, I'm like, it's a shtick, because how many women,
and they were calling in every week,
are calling in and pinging him on YouTube Live, and they're putting their business out there and just letting themselves get friggin' berated by him. And I'm like, and he's
never
really disrespecting them, and they're like, well, I have another question, and he's like, no, boo-boo, no. And I'm just like, why are you letting this happen to you? I thought it was a joke.
That was the whole part. That's why we're talking about it.
Parts of it that, I mean, I feel like, especially with Black men, they find it so easy to shit on Black women. I'm tired of it, and that's what that's why I had such an issue with him. Whether or not some of the stuff could be relatable or, understandable or said a different way or whatever. But to me, what I always got from him, no matter what the situation was, no matter what stage the woman was in her life, he found a way to shit on not just that woman asking him for advice, but all Black women. And I don't want to hear that, well, if you felt offended or some type of way, maybe you should. No, he shit on all Black women. And I think you said it earlier, Tanya, you don't see other groups of people. He couldn't do that to white women and have them call in and say the same kind of shit.
More high-valued white men for white women.
What?
There's more high-valued white men because most of them.
And you know what? High-valued white men probably don't do as much as low-valued Black men do. Set all these bars and parameters for their women.
But they don't need to.
They don't.
No, but Black men can do that.
No, they don't need to. They need to stop shitting on Black women.
I'm not saying need, but if there's a limited amount of Black men who are at this high level, they can pick and choose from what they want. Even if
you know what I find funny though, Crystal? I know a lot of high-level Black men, and they don't treat women like that. No, I see a lot of low-level Black men.
We're at two different things. I was talking about. I understand I totally agree with the way that he went about it was entertainment value for being as harsh as he was.
It's not entertaining to shit on Black women every damn day. And then look for us to save you at the end.
And entertaining in terms of that we're talking about, or provocative. It's not entertaining, provocative. That's what I mean. That's what he was doing. That's why we're talking about it, is because it was so provocative and polarizing.
True.
So
we know, and we all know for a fact that if he had started this shit as a Black man, berating white women, his ass would have been, the plug would have been, he wouldn't have been able to make sense.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's never for.
You can't do that with white women. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that with white women. You can't do that. It's because specifically for Black men and Black women, that's what he was going. That's what he was talking about. Especially, he lived in Atlanta too, which is even more prominent. Seeing the high valued Black men and talking about how women have to share in Atlanta, have to share a man in Atlanta. I talked to someone else
said that,
talking about how they could not get workers for the thing I was working on, for the TV show I was working on. He needed drivers. I knew one of the producers needed drivers, and he said a lot of these young brothers don't want to drive, don't want to work because they have 40-year-old women taking care of them, and because there's such a dearth of Black men that they would much rather take care of a 25, 28-year-old dude who's good looking and just have some, that and give them money. He said there's no reason for them to work.
Nah, we're good here. Listen, don't bring that shit to don't bring that shit up here to Massachusetts because that shit ain't gonna fly. Not over here. Because I ain't taking care of nobody. I don't give a fuck who you are. I ain't taking care of nobody. Motherfucker, you gotta have a goddamn job.
We're not talking about. We're talking about you can't do it with white women because there's a lot of high value white men in terms of what you consider that. You can't do that with against berating white women. You always berate white women, but it's more equal in terms of white people as opposed to the black population. There's more college educated, successful black women than there are black men.
But I get you. No, I get your point, and that's true. But my point is this: black men, whether it's a Kevin Samuels or if it's somebody responding, because when you look at the men that respond and love him, you wonder about their character. And a lot of them come off with that, pro-black, I'm super pro-black kind of, patriarchal thing, and, get that welfare ruined the black family. Those are the type of guys that respond to his thing. No group of ethnicity disrespects their women like black men do. That's my point. When are we going to get tired of that? I mean, and I believe it on all points. Black women need to lift up black men. Black men to lift up black men. I mean, black men need to lift up black women. We need to see more of that and less of these Kevin Samuels. We are broken, and it's too bad that it's 2022 and we still having these same conversations that I was having when the internet first started. When the internet first started, we were all going back and forth about these issues, and here we are now, 50 years later, still talking about the same thing, and it always boils down to black women ain't shit. That's always the basis.
I mean,
yeah, you're right, Shahida.
I was thinking more in terms of, I was just trying to express what his viewpoint was for his show and his type of thing.
But it was shitting on black women at the end of the day all the time.
He was shitting on specific black women. To me, that I didn't see him.
Okay, what about the woman who called in and said that her daughter was saying that her stepfather oh God, this was disgusting. Her daughter told her that her stepfather touched her inappropriately. And what was his response to her? His response, and I have to put it up so obviously other people could see it. And his response to her was, children lie. That's true. That's true. But he didn't ask her, you need to have a strong conversation with your daughter and get to the root of this because no man should be touching your daughter sexually. No, he jumped to the man's side. He basically was saying.
Or how about call the friggin' police and have his ass investigated or take it removed out of the house?
However you try and handle it, that's not how he approached it. He approached it that she should believe the man first. And that not only because this wasn't his biological child, but he was also letting her know that she should feel lucky and blessed that he's even married to her, for the simple fact that she brought something to the marriage that he didn't need or want, that her child is not an asset.
Wow. You sent us the link and I refused to watch it because I was like, yeah, I'm not watching that shit. No.
It's those things that I feel like as a black woman to another black woman, we deserve better than people shitting on us. And the thing is, I always say about dating outside your race, I have done it. I do it. No problem. But there is a comfort that I get from black men that I'm never going to get from anywhere else. There's a comfort. But in the same breath, you have to be a comfort to me and reject that kind of misogyny that people like him have. And we don't have a whole lot of people. Well, you know what? Let me not say that, because I know a lot of strong Black men and they speak up for Black women. But it's amazing to me that these voices get amplified, and then we're all fighting on the internet because some people are like, fuck him. So what, he died. And other people like, oh no, you shouldn't say that. I'm a very firm believer that if a person has spoken evil all their life, that's what you get in death. You don't get the RIAPs. Like, you think about all the people like DMX who just died, had strong, issues or whatever, but people were genuinely sorry because he was a decent person, a good person to other people. I never got that from Kevin Samuels. Michael, Michael, the one who just died, what was his name from The Wire?
Michael Williams.
He the outpour of love to this person because he was a good person. And then, so no, I'm not going to feel bad because I don't feel any type of way about this man dying, because what did he ever say to uplift me or any Black woman? And I don't care if I'm not in that same group that he was talking to. I don't care about that, because you know what? She's still a Black woman and she still needs to learn. She still needs somebody to uplift her. She still needs somebody to care for her. And you just basically tell her, fuck her. No, that's not how we should react with each other. So yeah, I don't have any feelings for him.
Preach, Shahida. Preach, goddamn.
Yeah. Don't make me tambourine right now, take it to church. But I'm going to say this. I'm not praising his death. It doesn't affect my life. But I'm not going to applaud his death neither. I just find that is just no. Listen.
Oh, I can applaud somebody's death.
Listen, we've texted, we text each other on a regular basis. Pedophiles need to die. Mass murderers need to die. George Zimmerman needs to die. Derek Chauvin needs to die. Listen, the people that killed Ahmaud Arbery, they need to die.
I won't say who needs to die. I'm just saying when they do die, if they were not a good-hearted person, if they didn't do the best to uplift the race of people, then I don't have sorrow for you.
I can't even. I'm not saying that Kevin. You already know. I'm not saying that Kevin Samuels needed to die, and I know that he was vile, and I know that he said some disrespectful, hurtful shit, but what I'm not going to do is be online talking about, whatever. I'm not going to lose no sleep over him, whatever. It is what it is. I don't even know how to word this. I don't even know how to word this without blaming people. Like, in the span of a year or a year and a half, this man has made millions of dollars off of Black women. Off of Black women.
Let me tell you something, Tanya.
If you were not decided today, why are you all of a sudden the conversations are being had? But I'm like, what the fuck? All of you Black women, not me, because I never called into his show, but I'm like, why are you calling into this brother for relationship advice?
He would not have a show if Black women didn't participate.
Exactly. And that's why I said earlier, if he was doing this shit to white women,
you can't do it to white women. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. If he had the show, let me just be honest. If he created the show and white women was calling him and he was berating white women like he berated Black women, his ass wouldn't have made $1. His ass would have been shut down right off the rip.
No, it wouldn't work that way because it doesn't work. It's specifically for Black women. It's specifically for Black women, and Black women participated in it.
They participated, and they didn't
participate in it. If they didn't participate in the whole thing, there would be no show.
I agree.
I
agree with you. I agree with you in that all this time, And I was getting people sending me links of his shit. And they were like, oh, you got to watch this because Kevin went in on this woman. And I'm just like, I can't watch this because why is that woman on there? And why? First of all, I can see them going on there and talking to him. But after like 5, maybe 10 minutes, when he's spewing his ether, they have the wherewithal to be like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm done here. You're not here for me.
Those people would not call in the first place. The ones who have sense.
There's a group that he came to, and they're asking him those questions. Now, whether or not they are, because sometimes you wonder, are you being serious, sis, or not? But I think a lot of them are. But at the end of the day, he chose to speak to them the way that he did. So that's really all on him. You know, I mean, we can say all day long, like, well, why do these women call? And why?
That's his brand. That's what makes him his money.
That's right.
It's provocative.
But it makes him his money. Yes, it makes him his money. And Shahida, like you said, that's all on him. But at the end of the day,
it's all on him.
At the end of the day, the people that are continuously calling in and logging into his YouTube live, his IG live, everything that he does. And not only are they logging in, but they're staying there and entertaining him. Fuck out of here. Let his ass go. Like you said it earlier, we're done with these grifters. We just got to choose to ignore them. I was like, let's just fucking stop following them and do whatever. But you said it. Just ignore them.
We can, because I mean, it's almost like a cult mentality for some people, you know, because, you know, we look at it, how could you be so stupid? Why would you do something, you know, thinking with with our logical head, but to them, some women respond to that type of lecture from a man, like, okay, because they wouldn't be calling in and seeking his advice. And you look at some of their faces and they're really letting it sink in. They're like, okay, you know, I get, you know, and they might try and fight back a little bit and, you know, then might feel a little offended, but you knew what he was going to say just from looking at the other women. So they believe it themselves. And a lot of those women who I feel call in don't have the strength, the self-esteem to think that they deserve more than what he tells them they deserve.
That part. Because my ass, your ass, and no woman with a half a brain cell in her head is going, or has got her shit together, is going to call in asking him for advice and going to continue to listen to him while he berates us. Ain't gonna happen. Anyway, listen, we've talked. Did you guys get anything else to say more about this? Because we got to move on.
I'm done.
Okay, girl. Look at you giving that little side pose. I love.
All I can say is rest in power, King. I'm just joking.
Ooh. Shahida is about to come through this computer screen and shank your ass.
Did you see how fast I had to say just joking?
Just joking.
Literally, I was like, rest in power, King, just joking. It was literally one word, because if I had literally Shahida would have grabbed me by the throat.
My heart jumped. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that, sir.
Yo, my blood pressure took a little, like a spike, right, real quick. When you said that, I was like, oh, excuse me, what? As I'm looking at Shahida like, excuse me, queen. Wait, hold on.
I did see one thing on Instagram, and somebody had already did a picture of him with a halo.
Oh, come on.
With a halo.
I mean, come on.
People,
but again,
people move.
Listen, this is the world that we live in. People don't agree with us, or they love him and worship at the temple of him. And so now they're all sad. All right, look at here.
But I want to end it with one thing, though. If you really women, Black women, I'm just saying, if you want real helpful advice on relationships. You might just be alone. You might just be alone. That might just be it. But learn how to be happy with yourself first. Then seek out these men. And then if you need some advice, come to me. No, come to us. Come to
I was
us.
going to say, not come to you, but come to the Still Dope podcast. Because look at here. We got 3 people here that, you know, of this certain age. We got a man.
That man's 56 years old, and these young women were and twice married. Was listening to him.
So we good. So come on over to the dark side. Not the dark side. Come over to the easy side of the Still Dope podcast. We'll get you straight.
Where you will be respected and loved.
And loved.
Look at Chris.
I mean, we might get a little harsh depending on your situation, but we're gonna give that harsh advice in love. So having said that, yeah, married at first sight. We had a bye week
to start off with, but okay.
Yeah, but we had a bye week because it was the decision dish.
Okay.
Decision dish.
That's what they called it.
Decision dish that we had to talk about, and all I'm saying, the only good thing about that episode is that it was a fucking hour long, and I fast forwarded it because I recorded it, and I was done in 30 minutes. So that's the only positive I've got to say about that goddamn show. So I'm gonna leave it to you two to talk about it. I'm good.
Ooh, no, I don't have anything. I thought the host was just very bland and boring, and the guests that came in, I mean, like the 2 married couples, I had not seen their season, so I only knew Gil and what's her name?
Oh,
Gil.
You know Mika?
Mika. I knew Gil, Mika, and the other one. What's her name? Paige. I knew those 3. I didn't know the other 2, and I didn't feel.
I know the other 2. I watched the other 2, the Philadelphia season. I watched that.
That was the 2 couples.
Yeah,
they were from the. Okay, so I didn't see that season.
Yeah, I watched that season, and it was good. And the white couple, because I can't remember their names. I loved what that husband said. He was like, but he is Elijah. He owned it. He was like, he has the potential to be a bad husband. And he owned it later in the episode that he was like, I was a little bit much. I spoke my mind. I said what I needed to say. And my wife didn't like it, but we got through this. They worked through it. I respect that.
I don't have anything to say. I thought it was just okay. It was a filler week. I just feel like Lifetime and Married at First Sight, they just really dropped the ball on this whole season. It was horrible. We did have that. I did put up the video of Michael's, poetry thing he did. That was like 5 years ago. So it was like a poetry video, spoken word video he did. And it was actually pretty decent, which makes me wonder.
Mika's Michael?
No, Jasmine is Michael.
Jasmine is Michael.
Oh, okay.
Bro, get on the text string.
I was asleep.
Anyway, all right. All I'm going to say about, Decision Day Dish is that, Shahida, I agree with you that the host was
boring.
Yeah, she was boring. The only thing I'm going to say again is Gil. I love the fact that all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but back when the show was airing last season, Gil was not about the fucking money and not about the floss and all that.
Right?
Why is Gil on the decision dish looking like a whole snack with his designer suit and his Gucci shoes? Yo, don't you ever talk about a woman with her Louboutins when you're fucking rocking
Merla
Gucci.
taught him something.
Huh?
She did, obviously. She really did.
Oh, well, yeah. She taught him something. She taught him to floss. So
And
now
he
he's
likes
on
that
there.
life, which is why he should not have been shitting on her about
Thank
it. Because
you.
once he had means, he's right there in it. So
Yep.
I
And
mean,
he's eating it all up. He's eating it all up,
mhm.
talking about his DMs and talking about his life. And I'm like, bro, you know you making money. You're getting appearances. That's why you're rocking them Gucci shoes, them Louboutin shoes that you had on at the reunion last season.
Wasn't that the same suit? Didn't he have the same blue suit
I was
on?
No,
wondering
he
if
had
it
a red
was.
suit. No, he had a
Oh,
red
was it a
suit
red suit?
at the
I feel like I've
reunion.
seen that look. I feel
I've seen
like I've
that
seen
blue
that
suit
look.
before that.
No. The suit that he had on the other night was a blue suit, and the suit
Right.
that
I
he
know
had
that
on,
he had the red one on, but I just feel
he had
like
a
I've
red
seen
suit.
him in that.
I've seen him
Well,
in the blue suit.
maybe. Well, maybe he wore that blue suit at his decision day, but who knows? But yeah, I got nothing to say. I just need this season to be over. And the only thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna end it on Married at First Sight, is with regard to Mike and Jasmina, when they were asking the couples or the people there, did they think Mike and Jasmina were going to say yes or get a divorce? And I think it was the white couple from Philly that was like, I think they both said, maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think the husband said the both of them were going to get a divorce. And the wife was like, I think Mike's going to say yes and Jasmina's going to say no. I was just sitting there waiting. But guess what? The fucking host was like, I think they're both going to say no. Yeah. Remember, I've been saying this for the longest time that I'm like, I think this is going to be a first. But she said, I think they're going to say no. But I'm saying this is going to be a first for Married at First Sight, that I think the two of them are going to sit there when they're like, do you say yes? Or do you want to stay married, or you want to get a divorce? I think the two of them are collectively going to get together and say, you know what, this just isn't working. So fuck off.
I don't think so. I think it'll be one at a time. And I just think that they're both going to say no.
Yeah,
no matter who's asked first.
No, I think it's going to be one at a time. But I think that when they say whoever they ask, I think that the other person, that whoever they ask, say it's me. I'm going to look at my mate and we're going to just be like, you know what? No need. We're done here.
No, but if Jasmina said yes, Michael would say yes. If Jasmina says no, Michael's going to say no. If Michael goes first, he's going to say no. But if Jasmina says yes, he's going to say yes. That's
you think if Michael goes first, he's going to say no?
If Michael goes first, I think he's going to say no.
I think he's going to say yes.
I think he's going to say no because he knows she's going to say no. Yeah. But if she says yes, he's saying yes. Watch.
So that, you listen, Lifetime, if you know what you're doing, I'd go with Jasmina first. And I have a feeling Jasmina's going to say no. And I'm hoping that the two of them, because it's come too far. Why are we playing this game at this point? We've come too far. Just sit both their asses down and say, what do y'all want to do?
They're going to have Michael go first. They're going to have Michael go first.
You think?
I can see that. I mean, I still have the same predictions. Michael and Jasmina, both no. Katina and Olajuwon, yes. Stephen Noy, yes. I 100% believe they're gonna say yes. You think who's gonna say no? Katina?
I think Olajuwon's gonna say, yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna say no. He's gonna say no.
Okay. You, Tanya, too?
She's gonna say yes. He's gonna say no.
No. Them two are on. I'm up in the air with them two at this point. I think that, and I'm looking at production and I'm looking at network shit. Where Olajuwon, last week I was like, Olajuwon already gave Katina his answer when he was like, be selfish, do that. And I'm like, are they setting us up? Where he's like, basically like, you be selfish because I'm going to be selfish. I ain't thinking about this or whatever. I'm going to be selfish, da, 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 da. So we're all thinking that he set her up, that he told her he's going to say no. So I'm thinking that with production and editing that, yeah, I think maybe he's going to say yes. Here's my dream. I want him to say yes, and I want them to go with him first, and I want him to say yes because I want her to have her voice and look at him and say, no, I'm done. You fucking insulted me. You fucking talked condescending to me this entire time. And now I'm saying no. I'm going to go do me and go fuck yourself. That's what I want her to do. But of course, that's not going to happen.
No, not at all.
No.
Nope.
And I think Mark and Lindsay are the only ones I'm really kind of conflicted on, because I feel like I don't know what Mark is really going to do. I feel like there's no reason for him to say yes, but he might.
He bet not say that. He bet
I think
not say yes.
it's too much for him.
You think
Just like
what?
I think it's too much for him. She's too much for him, and he's not enough for her. That's what they said on the show, and that's what I agree. She's not enough. She's too much for him. He's not enough for her.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I mean, I had to think about it for a second. For some reason, I couldn't like make it comprehend in my head what you were saying. I'm not high, but you know, that's the perfect way of saying it, huh?
I said not yet because I'm about to go get high in a minute. Anyway, as I listen, like I've been saying, Mark, I swear to God, if Mark says yes on Decision Day, I am going to fucking flatline. That's it. End of story. Because all this time I've been saying Mark is petrified and he's just waiting for Decision Day to say, nah, bitch, I'm good. So that the Married at First Sight and Lifetime people can be like, and the experts can be like, security, let's escort this man back to his home so this crazy bitch doesn't shank his ass. And on full disclosure, yeah, I was at the Chick-fil-A in Brockton yesterday, where supposedly Mark the Shark works at.
My sister-in-law has seen him twice. I told you to go when she was up there, and nope, you didn't go, so you missed it.
I missed it. But folks, I went yesterday, and I went in. Listen, if I had to suffer, everyone's suffering right now. I went in there with my video, and there's no Mark the Shark. I went and ran my errands, came back, no Mark the Shark. I'm looking around in the kitchen. I'm looking at the director his name was Kevin, that was walking around, and there was another manager interviewing a prospective employee. I ordered my chicken nuggets and French fries and a Coca-Cola. And I sat in the parking lot waiting because I was like, maybe he'll come like a stone cold stalker. And nothing.
Should have went.
And all I'm saying is, it's been a long time since I went to a fast food restaurant. And all I'm saying is, toot to the toot to the toot. I have the bubble guts and I hate it. I'm never going to fuck a Chick-fil-A. So fuck all your couches. And I know I live 2 minutes from the Chick-fil-A. I am not going to the Chick-fil-A anymore.
Oh my God. All right. Enough of Married at First Sight. Are we gonna? Let's do the intro for our new show on 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, Lord.
Mind you, I've watched.
Read off the couples.
All right.
Mind you, I've watched every season.
I haven't watched every season, but I've watched most of them.
I've watched every season of 90 Day. Most of the iterations of 90 Day.
Too many.
There's a lot.
There's too many, and there's too many versions. So here we're gonna go. We're starting with the latest season of 90 Day Fiance. And here are the couples.
Three episodes.
We're 3 episodes in. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 couples. So we got a lot of shit to talk about. So there's one couple that hasn't been brought to the table yet because that's going to be, I'm assuming, next week. Sunday's episode. So we've got Kobe and Emily.
Kobe and Emily. Emily is the
Emily's the white girl. Emily's the white girl from Salina, Kansas, and Kobe is the black dude she met in China.
Is it Nigerian?
Yeah. Yes. And she met him in China.
Is he from Nigeria?
He's African.
He's from Africa, yeah, but I don't think it's Nigeria.
No, he's from Cameroon. Cameroon, not Nigeria, Cameroon. And they met in China, and they had a
underwear model.
Pregnant. She got pregnant, and now they have
international underwear model.
Okay.
Now they have a son called Coben. There's Kobe, then there's Coben. Here we go. Next up, we have Binny and Ari. Binny is from Ethiopia.
Oh my God, that was a train wreck.
Binny and Ari,
they've been on for the last.
They've been on before. They were on last season.
Yeah, and
there are a couple that's come back to this.
I'm so over them.
Yeah,
I'm so over
those
her
sisters
and him.
Those sisters are crazy.
Yes, that whole thing is
crazy. They're all crazy. And you know what? The main problem with it is him. He doesn't check anybody. So he just lets them fight over him. And it's just a whole big mess.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Enough of that. So now we're going to go to Cara and Guillermo. Cara is from Charlottesville, racist ass Charlottesville, Virginia. And Guillermo, who's from he's from Venezuela. He lived in the Dominican Republic. And yeah, she's like 3 or 4 years old, or 6 years old.
28, and he's 23.
Yeah, he's a baby. Yeah, we're just going through the couples. Then we have Bilal and Shahida, because we got our girl Shahida up in here, and now I'm like, what's this bitch's name? Shahida?
His ex-wife is named Shahida.
Oh, we know that. But his new bitch is Shahida.
No, I think is that how he pronounces it? This sounds funny.
It says he said Shahida. I don't know. Correct us.
Yeah, we'll have to get that one right. I liked her.
Who? The wife, the ex-wife, or the new wife?
No. Well, I like the ex-wife too. I like them both. But that girl doing that yoga, sis, you didn't like her?
Oh, I like her. But here's my thing with the ex-wife. It's like the sister. All right, so let's go back to the first episode when the Bilal's sister showed up and was like making all these baskets, and she was crying because she was like, you deserve to be loved, you know, blah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, you just had bad luck in relationships. And I'm like, well, what kind of relationships do you have bad luck in? She's like, your last relationship, which I assumed was his ex-wife, Shahida. And she's like, you deserve to be loved and you deserve to be taken care of and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why is he okay? So if his ex-wife treated him like dog shit, why is he like BFFs with Shahida?
Maybe she didn't. I mean, you just assumed just because divorce doesn't mean that one person treated the other one like dog shit or that badly. Maybe they just were not compatible anymore, or they were going on separate paths and just didn't love it. They were together for a long time. So obviously somebody just either fell out of love with someone, or I didn't think anything nefarious about it.
Well, what it basically came down to, he's a high value man and wanted a younger woman. That's all.
Motherfucker.
My name is.
Oh, but he's OCD. Can you imagine living with him?
No, I couldn't imagine. He's a dick. That's
he's an asshole. He's an asshole, and he wants validation for everything that he does.
Tanya, let me tell the audience what he did.
Okay, go.
This woman is 33. She's coming from Trinidad to Kansas City to where he lives. They've been talking for years. They've been talking for a while now. Mm-hmm. I think they met in Trinidad with his Gucci, his Valentina, Louis Vuitton luggage.
Louis Vuitton luggage.
He makes good money. Obviously, I'm not exactly sure what he does for a living.
The real estate agent.
Real estate. And when he picked her up from the airport, he bought a van that wasn't his because he drives a Mercedes. He bought a van, a white van, janky ass white van, and took her to his
like a kidnapping van
house that he grew up in, which was dilapidated. It had mold coming out of the walls, ceilings. It was all to test if she was really there for him, which is that's fucked up. It was fucked up. And then he had the audacity. What?
Tell about the marriage, though. About their marriage, how supposedly they're married under God, but he's testing her. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's testing her. Is she really going to be there for him? And brings her to this god-awful place where he grew up. And then she got an attitude because she's like, look, I don't know anybody here. Can you take care of me? You said you could take care of me. Can you take care of me? Yes, yeah. Yes, she would want to be. Yes, she would be there with him if he had in a studio apartment, this and the other. But that's not what couldn't take care of her. He was in a studio apartment and didn't have any money.
And that's how he presented when he went to Trinidad and Tobago. He showed up in Trinidad and Tobago with his Louis Vuitton luggage, his coiffed ass fucking tailored suits and everything, spending his money. And I've been to Trinidad and Tobago, so I already know how that rolls. So yeah, he perpetrated a fraud. He's stupid.
But it wasn't just the trip. Remember, she's following him on Instagram. He's flexing his style all on Instagram. Now, the thing that I was trying to get Chris to talk about, which didn't, was that they're both Muslim, right? And I forget what Mia knows the word, but anyway, so in Trinidad,
it's called Nikki,
right?
Something like that.
That they supposedly got married in Trinidad under God. And a lot, especially, I don't know about any other foreign Muslims. I know how it is in America. And a lot of Black men do this. Let's just get married under God because it's more important than the actual legal paper. Us being married under God that's more sacred. But when it comes time to divorce or when they want to leave, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to follow what the Quran says, what you should do as you divorce your woman. You can just walk out and leave. But this man said that, they were married under this law in Trinidad. So why is it that you have to bring her back to the United States to test her to see if she's worthy of you and the actual legal marriage in the United States? Because you know why? Because you don't give a fuck about that law. You just want to do that so that you could technically sleep together without it being haram. Trash.
It's fucked up.
I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have that because I could keep on, but I'm gonna.
I didn't like him so far. I do not like him. I like her. I did like what he did with that yoga room for her. That was beautiful. She deserves to have something like that. But so far, he to me comes off like a Kevin Samuels light.
No, he comes off as an insecure man that needs to be validated every fucking 10
Kevin
seconds.
Samuels light.
Yes, because he gave her the yoga room. He brought her to the house. He walked her through every room of the house. And every word, instead of saying, like if I met the man of my dreams that I want to marry And if I have a big ass bomb ass house and I bring you in my house, I'm gonna be like, baby, this is our house. Go explore, do whatever. He brought her through every room of that house, and he's like, do you like it? You wanna be appreciative of it? Are you grateful? Fuck that shit.
Disgusting. But that sounds very much like what a lot of these guys are loving on these internets.
Yeah, and that's what he wants. Hence why, with the 90 Day Fiance and all these other fucking shows that go to other countries, where people go to other countries and find their spouse, this is what they want. Bilal,
you can get that right here. You can get that right here. You can get that right here. There are a lot of pick-me's out here. What are you talking about? You can get exactly that.
Well, there's a lot of pick-me's out here, but really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, really.
I'm sorry. No. Not when you're hanging on. No, when you can't listen. You can do that with American women, but so far. You can go so far. When you got a woman that's from another country and she's here on a K1, whatever the fuck they call that visa, the K1, K91 visa, she is solely reliable on you. So you, Bilal, and all these other people, I'm not just trashing Bilal, I'm trashing every other person that is bringing these people over here. And it's like, now all of a sudden you're here and now you're not my property, but you have to listen and you have to listen to everything I say, do as I say. And you're living in my house.
Traditional in Muslim families?
Excuse me?
Is that traditional Muslim families where the man is the head of the household and the woman does?
Yeah, I mean, it's more roles. Like, you know, I mean, like I said, my family, very, very religious. My father, he's head of the household. But again, it always boils down to 60-40. 40-30, I mean 40-30, 40-60. It changes. But as far as like, you know, really maintaining the household, that really does come down to my father. You know, but he supports. Wait. I hear a lot. Wait, Tanya. But there's a big difference too. Like I see that a lot in Islam, especially in America with Black Muslims. You know, it's all about being the head of the household, but then why she got to work? You want all the traditional stuff, but then you don't take into the account the traditional role that she really should have. And that should be inside the house, taking care of the house, but you don't afford her the opportunity to have that. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
I said, okay, Elijah.
No.
Elijah wants. That's what he wants.
Right, but you don't afford that woman that opportunity. At the same time, you're telling her she got to go out and work. You can't have it both ways.
True.
I think my thing with Bilal and Shayshida, whatever the fuck you pronounce her name, is I think Bilal just wants to be coddled and be. He wants those affirmations like, I'm glad. Thank you.
You're my king. Thank you. This is
Thank you. And I'm here and I appreciate you. And I am going to friggin' do what I gotta do to make sure that, you know, this house is maintained and whatever. I don't like that. Because I don't like that. I don't like that.
Eat marshmallows?
Huh?
Oh, popcorn.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah. All right, guys. Look away. We're not in.
Is that all the couples?
Oh, wait, no, we've got we talked about them too. We've got 3 more couples.
Just like briefly hit it for like 2 minutes.
We've got Jabri and Mioni. You know, Jabri is the dude from South Dakota. Please.
That is not going to work.
That's not going to work at all.
Right. Can I say something? Those Eastern European women
do not play.
They no fucking joke.
And not for nothing, when they were showing her in the show, shit, she was blacker than me. And then all of a sudden, when she shows up in South Dakota with no makeup, no eyeshadow, no eyeliner, I'm like, who's that bitch? That's a white woman. That's what I was doing when I was watching. I'm like, that's a whole white woman right there with her fucking funny pony and shit. I'm like, straight up white woman. But okay, here we are.
That's not.
Can I say one thing about them though? The mother, when they were having that dinner, was that necessary at that moment to have that conversation when
yes.
she just went?
Yes, no. It was very necessary because guess what? Her son, I'm assuming her son, this entire time.
When they were at the dinner table, and then the mother said, "We need to discuss the rules right now."
You damn right.
You might as well get it out of the way.
Yup. Because here's the thing. No, here's what I was discussing.
And I don't even think her approach was right. I just think that I think the mother already had, I mean, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her for having for that preconceived notion of who this person is. And then the girl had it. It was already a toxic environment at that table. Why not let them come to the table, both have a nice dinner, maybe talk to each other, get to know each other, and then have that conversation?
Well, we didn't know. We don't also know the editing and that kind of stuff because they both said they like her. Remember? They both said that they like her.
In the very beginning, they did. So maybe I don't know, but I just
am not. Here's my thing. I am not waiting. If that was my son, I don't have children, but if that was my son, listen. First of all, I fault Jabri because, bro, you have financial issues. Why would you bring your girl? You're living in your parents' house. Why would you bring your girl here on the pretense of we're going to have this nice life? And this girl comes over here. They're not on the same page, just like his mother said. They're not on the same page because this girl's like, I want to go to LA or New York.
No, she wants to come to America, what she thinks America is.
Right.
And South Dakota ain't America.
And he is
America.
And he is fucking shading her because he's like, in the 3 episodes that I've watched, he's like, oh, you can get used to living here in South Dakota. He wants to live there. He wants to stay there. He's like, oh, we can stay here, and we can have a good life here. She's like, no. He is fucking gaslighting her. He should have told her right off the rip. The band is fucking dissembled. You stay in Serbia. I'm living in my parents' house. When I get money or get to the point where I can move to LA or Chicago with my band and we're doing everything, then you can come. Until then, you stay your ass in Serbia. He's fucking imposing on his parents in their house. Damn right. I don't give a fuck who you are. If I extend and open my door for you to live in my house and now you want to bring some bitch or some dude into my house to live, oh, there's going to be some ground rules because I ain't going to get up and fucking clean my house, cook my breakfast, make my coffee, cook my lunch, make my dinner, do everything, and your asses are laying on your ass doing nothing. No, that's problematic. So right off the rip, I'm glad his mother laid them ground rules down, and Jabri got a hair across his ass. Was like, and she's like, Jabri.
Oh, again, even him, the way he received it, if his attitude was much better, it still would have. I mean, and then she tried to. The girlfriend was. I'm like, no, of course we can do that. We can do it 2 days a week or whatever, which is fine. It's just like he should have had that conversation with her from the very beginning. The girlfriend. I mean, the mother already told him what the rules were, so he should have told her what the rules were before they got there. But the most important part is he shouldn't be bringing somebody he's not married to live in the house when he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a place to stay, you have nothing. And then on top of that, you're not listening to what this woman wants. We know what you want. She's telling you over and over and over again, this is not what she wants. That's not the life that she wants.
But that's the selfishness of Jabri because he got her there. He wanted her to get there. Now she's here. And now he's like, he's trying to gaslight her, and she's not falling for the okie doke, and he don't like it. So I'm not mad at his parents.
I think it's a combination. Also, the fact that she just wanted to get to America and was hoping
for sure
that eventually, maybe he definitely overpromised her. But she just wanted to get to America. So they're both kind of,
they're using each other.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, don't bring your parents into the fucking fold. And don't get mad because, it is what it is. All right, look at here. We've got 2 other couples to talk about, but we're going to talk about them next week because, it is what it is.
We can talk about them now. Let's kind of plow through it.
All right. No, we got one other couple left because the final couple hasn't even aired yet. We've got Muhammad and Yvette. Yvette from New Mexico.
48, and he is 25.
And he's from Egypt?
Yes, Alexandria.
Can I say another thing about these Muslim men? Why is it that these Muslim men from these countries like Egypt, Lebanon, it was not Lebanon. Where'd that guy come from? I think it was a couple of seasons ago. He was from Turkey.
I think it was Turkey.
These Caucasian women who are not converted, who are not interested in conversion, who they can definitely find a woman in their own country. So we know that you really just want to get to America for whatever reason. And then want to be up here and then tell this woman, I don't like it when you wear bathing suits. What? What, sir?
But he did say he felt free because he could actually have affection in public.
But then he'll turn that on her too. The whole bidet conversation, girl, saying that to a woman who probably don't wash her legs, she don't understand.
But here's the thing: when I saw that, I was like,
he was upset.
And he kept saying to her, "You'll get it done," which I didn't like. Because I'm like, first of all, motherfucker, she got your ass here. And now you're in my house.
What you bring him? Did you bring him today?
You bring it to the table, but you looking at me when I say to you, the one thing, you're happy with everything. And the one thing that I say to you, like, I didn't get a chance to, I bought the bidet, but I didn't get a chance to set it up. And his face was like, oh, you get it taken care of. First of all, I don't like his voice because he sounds like a punk ass bitch. And there's nothing I could be sexually attracted to that when he's talking all soft. He's like, oh, you get it done. I want a woman that's gonna love me like my mother. Sorry. Red flags.
That was Norman Bates all over.
All day. So here's my thing with them two. With the bidet. I've been around the Muslim culture enough to know that
we wash our asses 5 times a day.
That's right. But have I seen a bidet, or have I had a conversation about bidets? Nope.
Because they're just not that popular here, but in other countries it is very popular.
I get it, but now you're moving here.
But and also too, he's doing a lot because in these he's from Egypt. Egypt, I'm sorry, I don't mean
yeah, he's from Egypt.
But Egypt is fucking filthy. The streets of Egypt, and then not everybody has a bidet. That's not, that's not like it's common, huh?
Right. I said thank you.
Egypt was crazy.
Exactly.
The driving in Egypt scared me because they just flash their lights and go through. There's no red lights. They don't pay attention to lights. They literally flash their lights and roll. And we got close. I was like,
and they just be like, what?
Like this. Yeah, it was. I'd never seen some epic driving like that.
Crazy.
I've never been.
And that's the last one, right?
That was the last
No,
one.
the last couple is Patrick and Faze, but we haven't touched. They
But
haven't.
we didn't talk about the guy from Cameroon. You just mentioned his name.
Yeah, we did that. They were the first one, Kobe and Emily.
Oh, okay. I don't remember having a conversation. But
We didn't really have a conversation. We just introduced them, but
we just introduced. But I don't want to have a conversation with them about them. We'll have it next week because we'll.
That was interesting, girl. That's the way we can go. I gotta go pick up my grandbaby anyway.
I was gonna say we on a time constraint. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Or we can wait until next week when we are introduced to Patrick and Faze from Brazil, and we can go from there.
sounds good.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Love you.
Rest in peace.
We'll see you next week.
Rest in peace.
Prince.
Hey, put your fist up. Rest in peace.
Oh, for Prince? Okay, I got you for that one. And Whitney. My Whitney.
Oh, you Whitney.
You have no idea.